Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant. Today we are at the next topic, that is concluding the attack, and we are going to look at an example based on a close position. The position has come right after the opening from the f4 Tarash in the French defense. So this is the position with black to play. See, white has a very strong center and the king on g3, white is thinking that it is decently placed. The center is very strong, so the c8 bishop is struggling, d7 knight is struggling. So white is thinking that his position is fine. Firstly, we can see that d4 is not hanging because knight d4, q d4, then bh7 check, and the queen on d4 would be lost. In order to reach the white king, black has to see this, that the rook has to be opened and the queen is also aiming to attack through that a7 g1 diagonal. So black tries for a way to break the center and open the position, because that is the only way to get to the white king. So fe first comes into mind, but after which we see that after knight e5 there will be just de5. So he is unable to remove these white pawns. So black goes for the other way here. He first takes nd4, but of course he cannot take qd4. He wants to open the game here with f takes e5. Position is becoming quite sharp soon. After see f takes e5, knight e5. At first it looks like white will have time to safeguard his king. Let's say he can develop with the move knight gf3. But then we realize that there is knight d3, queen takes d3 and bishop d6 check. Look at these powerful bishops now combined with the center and poorly placed king. If king f2 then e5. See, both knights are pinned. And after king h3 also there is e5 check, g4 and e takes d4, simply getting black in a winning position, because after ed if see knight d4 then h5 and the white position totally crumbles. Of course direct kh3 is also met by knight d3, queen d3, e5 check. So white moves the bishop a bit. Now comes knight g6, covering the f4 square, and again the threat is bd6. White thought bishop g6, hg. Black's doubled pawns can be of great use later on when the king walks up the board. Now the first problem is, see, again bd6, e5 is threatened. So white has to look for a way to protect his knight, because see, bd6, king h3, e5 check, the knight is lost. Knight has to move. After knight f3 we can see that same, there is bd6, kh3, e5 check, kh2, e4 check. If black tries to close the position with bishop f4, then black will not hesitate to play rook takes f4, because after king takes f4 the king comes out further, and see there is e5 check. Position no doubt is very risky for white. In fact, after ke5 there is instant, see, qd6 mate. So king has to go back perhaps to g3, and now see again e takes d4. And once these both bishops move, rook will join the attack and white will get mated. See, all the pieces are still stranded for the exchange. Black already has two pawns and white has the poor king placing. So this should win very easily for black. Bishops aim to go to d6 and f5. Even the d pawn can be used. White plays knight e2, taking the knight away from the loose spot on d4. But now comes see, queen f2 check. The queen enters into the fray, and see, it's almost winning now. After king h3, which is almost forced, kh2 would allow see queen h4 check also. And here first black goes bd6. He could also try the move e5, but see, after e5 g4, queen f1 check is not available. So that is one of the reasons to use bd6 first. So there is threat on the g3 square, there is threat of e5 now. So qb3 trying to cover the g3 and the h3 squares, and now comes see e5 check. It's game over. First point being, after g4 black goes queen f1 check, kg3, e4 check. It's almost decisive. Now see, bishop f4, and now rook f4 is interesting, but see, the queen hangs. So bishop f4, knight f4, queen f4 check, king g2, queen f2 check, king h3, and now see, there is bishop g4, immediately causing serious damage. King takes g4, rook f4 check, kh3 loses to rook h4 mate, kg5 forced, rook f5, and now if kg4, black has the very strong rook f8 when qg2 is also threatened, rook f4 is also threatened, and after the move kg6 here, there is rook f6 check, kg5, queen f4 check, which mates next move after kh5, rook f6. So we can say that after the move g4, it's winning for black. So white played king h2, to which black went queen h4 check, knight h3, and now see bishop takes h3, forcing queen takes h3, and now comes e4 check. White resigned over here since see there is only move g3, knight g3, then bishop g3 was for free, king g1, then queen f2 mates, and after g3 there is rf2 check, and we can see that after kg1 black can simply take queen h3, rook h3, rook e2, his 3 pawns up, plus there are several threats rook f8 and bc5 when white would get mated as well. So through this example the objective was to show how the game can be concluded, the attack can be built. This was both building the attack and concluding the game, both comes together, and how we approach a close position. So the center should be broken, at the right place we should make the sacrifice. So two avenues of sacrifices in a close position, one is the base of the pawn chain and other is the head of the pawn chain. We should try to time it properly. I hope you are finding these lessons useful and instructive. Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.